Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a 65-year-old woman with Alzheimer's. I was diagnosed a few months ago with a MOCA exam, which is a mini mental exam, over a couple of years, and it decreased over those years. Genotyping, a neuropsych exam, and a PET scan to show whether or not you have amyloid plaques, which mine did. On July 21st, I underwent my first infusion, donanemab infusion, the first one out of 18 infusions, 18 months, one each month. And this therapy will rid me of the amyloid plaques on my brain that were revealed on PET scan. The amyloid plaques are measured by centiloid value. The value is between 0 and 100. Mine turned out to be a centiloid value of 120. Because of that, they can't really take me past 18 months because the protocol, the trials did not go beyond 18 months. But there is something in the works. It has already gone through its trials, and it just needs to be approved by the FDA. So I'm hoping within 18 months, it probably only be a year, it will be approved. And this is an injectable. So most likely to get mine down to 0, which is the goal for most people, because mine is 120, their goal for this 18 months is only to get it down to 13 centiloid value. So I'll still have a little bit of plaque. But I most likely will be able to use this injectable. After that, it's in your own home, no trouble, no big deal. To maintain my new centiloid value, or to possibly get it down past the 13 and to 0. The side effects of this infusion can be like flu-like symptoms, or a headache, or whatever, or regular kind of allergic reactions. That's usually within the first 24 to 48 hours. There's also a more serious complication, which is ARIA, and that stands for amyloid-related imaging abnormalities. And those imaging abnormalities is brain edema or brain hemorrhage, which is swelling or bleeding. After what I'm here to report today is that when you have your infusions, about 3 weeks after your infusion, they have you do an MRI of the brain. This is to make sure that you don't have any ARIA, or to check to see, what is going on. And they would tweak your infusions accordingly. But if all's well, then they go ahead and schedule for you for another one for the next month. So I'm here to report that my MRI was clear. So this means I had no ARIA, bleeding or swelling, and I can be scheduled for my second one. So I am scheduled, and this one will be on the 27th of August, I believe. Or I'm sorry, of September. No, of August. It would be of August, because I had my other one in July. So in the meantime, before I have my second infusion, I am scheduled for another neuropsych exam, because they just want to know where I am at. My last neuropsych exam was a couple years ago, so they just want to know where I'm at so they can measure it better when I get through with the infusions. This is not supposed to cure it or even back it up. It's just supposed to um, give you extra time. It's supposed to put it on hold. Your symptoms will still be the same as you have them now, but you won't get any worse for a while. It's going to hopefully keep you at the mild Alzheimer's stage. So, some of the ways, some of you might be a little bit afraid of the ARIA, which I could understand. So was I. I had a panic attacks every day for the first month, waiting for my MRI results, basically. That might be an overkill, but I was very nervous, a lot of anxiety. But with genotyping, your medical team can give you more personalized percentage of the risk for you of getting ARIA. And they can take, different precautions for people more at risk, or they may not allow you to do the infusion. So how the APOE gene testing results, how they show up is that if you don't have APO gene 4 at all in your geno testing, then you're at a very low risk, if not any at risk at all. I mean, I'm not really sure, but you're at a very low risk. If you have APO gene 3 and 4, or anything else and 4, 1, 4, you're at a little higher risk, which is me. I'm a 3 and a 4. But if you have the double 4 APOE gene, 2 4s, then you may not even be able to get the therapy at all. Or, it might be, decided on an individual basis, but this would be riskier. So again, my second infusion is scheduled for the 27th of August. They increase your dose every time. So the first infusion, I don't know what the amount was, but it would be so much. And then the second infusion would be double that. And then they increase the third one from that second one, and the fourth one from that third one. Eventually, on that fourth one, it plateaus to a certain number, and you go the rest of the 12 or whatever, the rest of the months, 14 months, with that dose. So they're very cautious. They start you out low to get your system, used to it, and then build it up and up until they plateau. So they're very cautious. These trials have gone on for quite some time so that they can make sure that, this is done as easy and as wonderful as possible. So I should be back on probably the 20th to report, at least if my status has changed with my neuropsych exam, which I don't believe has, because you kind of know what symptoms you have now and which symptoms you had the last time you had a test. It was only a couple of years ago. And then I'll be back on the 27th or 28th, 29th, after I've had 48 hours, to see if I'm going to have any symptoms, to let you know. And then we'll go from there. It'll be another cycle of MRIs, infusion again, etc. I probably only am going to report this for the first 4 months, assuming it all goes well. So I hope I've been helpful. For some people, because we hear a lot of experts talking about, these treatments. But I think when you hear it from someone who's going through it, it might help you. It might, well, it does give a different perspective of it, of course. And so far, it's not been a inconvenience, or has it been painful or anything like that. It has been nerve-wracking. So, but I believe it's going to be worth it, and we'll know that soon. Okay? See you later.